All right, 30 videos, 30 days, no edits, no restarts, no do-overs, hit record, post. I thought I would share with you guys a little bit of what I'm working on today. So talked about high ready versus low ready in some other videos and some shorts. To me, there's no verse. It's just what do I need for the situation? The situation will dictate my tactics, techniques, and that's going to dictate my tools. Now, I'm doing a little playing around here in my house and just doing some dry fire and also just working through some problems. I'm not in a position, I'm a private citizen, so I'm not in a position where I'm going to be going into someone's house, hunting, or into a big old building or a business or anything like that and hunting for somebody or trying to find someone who maybe broke in or whatever. It's never going to happen, right? However, I do sometimes think about home defense, the best ways to situate myself within my home or a home to best defend, if I had to, against someone who's not supposed to be here. Now, all the caveats aside, right? If somebody's in my house and they're downstairs, I live in a multiple story house, somebody's in the downstairs area, say it's at nighttime, I'm sleeping, they break in, they're down there messing around. Take what you want, man. I'm going to get on the phone right away to 911, get the professionals rolling my way, and I'm going to retreat back to an area where I basically can just bunker up and wait it out. And they can have whatever they want. I'll even tell them, look, man, you can have whatever you want down there. Just don't come up here. Do not come upstairs. If you come upstairs, I'm going to be in great fear for my life. I'm going to believe that your only intention to come upstairs is to do serious bodily injury to me or maybe even death, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. So I'm not going to say it that long-winded, but they're going to get the point. Take what you want. I can replace stuff, but stay away from me and my family. All right, so during the day, that's a different thing. I'll talk about that on another video. So in practicing up high ready, low ready, all that good stuff, a good example is this area right here. So if I were to retreat back to an area where I could bunker up and hold safely on a first line position. So in order to get to where I am, they have to come up my stairs. And the first place that they're going to have to cross, the first threshold, I guess, would be the bottom of the stairs, right? But I don't want to hang out there. The next would be to cross the upper where the landings are, right? So let's take a look. I'm going to move you around here. High tech. One camera angle. So you can kind of see that's the first threshold down there that they would have to cover, which I could actually monitor that from right here. You know, I could post up here on this corner right here and just kind of lean out, or even if I was good enough, put it on the left shoulder. I don't trust my skills in a life or death situation, especially to make that decision at speed and also manipulate at speed whatever I got to do to put it on my left shoulder. I know people that do train to that degree. Benny Cooley would be an awesome example of a person that's equally badass off either shoulder. I know I am not. So I'm probably going to have to hold here. Now, in that position, this is a empty 30-30. This was a gift to me from William April. Jeff Bluevman built this. This is an amazing piece of work. I love this rifle, man. This thing is super accurate. I have shot it out to 100 yards, and it's pretty darn cool, man. So cowboy guns are always cool, right? So to manipulate this gun off my left shoulder, do all that kind of stuff, I don't really think that's a good idea for me and my skill set. So I would have to post here, which leaves me exposed. Again, the advantage is I've got them sooner. If they are starting to come up the stairs, I can address them sooner, let them know like, hey man, I've got you. You are covered. Don't come up here. Don't advance on a person that's got a weapon on you. That's a bad idea. Now, to the point of high versus low, high ready would have me here, which means I have some of my vision is obstructed. Also, bringing the rifle down from up and sighting in on someone, when it would probably be easier just to be low, and then all I gotta do is that. Literally, I'm moving that much. So I'm moving about that much to cover a man-sized target on the stairs. So as opposed to here and here. And I don't want to be sighted in either. I don't, man, that freaks me out a little bit. I went through a Surefire course quite some time ago. And during the Surefire course, the guys who were teaching it, they had us do an exercise where you stood back here and had your hands like this. And the guy was sighted in on you, and they couldn't see what you were doing down here. So you could have a gun, you could have a phone, you could have all kinds of things. But the point is just, I couldn't see it because I was here, sighted in on that guy. I'm like driving in on him and I can't see. So same with this. I don't want to be, even though I know it's my home, there shouldn't be anybody here. What if it's a neighbor, a drunk neighbor, kids, drunk kids, you know, whatever, sneaking into the wrong house. I just don't want to make that mistake. I can't take this. Once this happens, I can't get that round back. So that's kind of my point. So I want to be at a low ready for this particular situation so that I can assess. You know, I can see everything. I can see all the way to the bottom of the tripod here. Here, I can't. Again, you know, maybe up over the shoulder. You know, I know Benny Cooley taught that one. I've seen some other guys that he taught that now teach that, where they come up over the shoulder and then do that kind of stuff. I saw a guy teaching an underarm position. I actually had a mentor that was a Vietnam era SF dude, long range reconnaissance guy. And he took me through some stuff that he learned. And he actually taught this too, to move through the house. I'm not a fan of that. Again, I want reference points. I want touch points. I want contact so that I know where this thing is. Just like jiu-jitsu, the more connection I have to my opponent, the more I can feel what they're doing, how they're moving, how my movement's affecting them. It's the same. The more connection I have to this, the easier it is for me to know where everything is and index it on target when necessary. So that would be the first point. The second point would be here, this. Right, so think about, again, I'm going to move you guys with me here. If you're here, which would be my vantage point, I'm looking that way. And this is the first time, this is the next line, right? So clearing, searching, clearing, it's always just horizontal, diagonal, vertical lines. That's all it is. And we just make it more complicated, but that's really all it is. And so this would be the next point where I'd see this person if I'm right there. So actually, I mean, the first point, you know what I mean? First point being down there, possibly, but I prefer to be there just because of all the things I brought up already. Prefer to be the first line. First time I see him is when they break this line. So you can see right now, you got me. If you're right there, you got me all day. If I'm out here, even more so. So you got me right here. Even if I'm trying to sneak, you got me. You own that spot, and you can deal with me. Also, modern construction, if you have positive ID on that, even if they kind of duck back a little bit, aim just a little bit to the left or to the right, and zip it through the drywall. Not saying that's the best strategy. I'm just saying it is a strategy. Now, from here, given all that we've talked about regarding positive ID, being able to shoulder consistently, all that good stuff, here, again, not the optimal choice. If I were downstairs looking up, this would be the best choice. Downstairs looking up, this is where it's at, man. right? I've worked through this equation, worked through this puzzle from all angles. Downstairs looking up, that is a much shorter distance than that, okay? Same here, this compared to this. The advantage is going to go with the low ready for this, for me. So again, for my dry fire today, I've just been working from here, just kind of seeing what it takes to ID, catch something come around that corner, and go ahead and do the work I need to do. So a lot of it's just been thought, not really pressing the trigger. It's just movement, trying to figure out angles, the best possible place to be. You know, there's an old saying in strategy and tactics planning, which is, you know, let or make them come to you. Be further away from the target or from the cover. You know, distance from cover or concealment is better than hugging it. You don't want to be up on it. However, given the circumstances, this is the best I can do from right here, allowing me to cover that, not be hugging this, also letting or making them come to me so that I have the advantage is going to lie to the defender, right? I think at a certain point in time there was a man, what would you call it? Sounds callous to say, an acceptable loss number in warfare where they considered a 10-to-2 ratio of attacker versus defender, meaning we're going to lose probably 10 men as attackers for every 2 they'll lose as defenders. And that was just something you kind of knew was going to happen. I might be off on that number, and if I am, please correct me. But the last time I talked to someone who had gone through a strategic planning type school for infantry, that was the numbers they were given. So if I can make them come to me or let them come to me rather than me go hunt them, the advantage is going to lie in my favor. So, hey man, that's what I'm working on today. So just kind of in here, you know, making sure this bad boy's empty, you know, playing around. There's nothing in there, pure empty, awesome cowboy gun goodness. And just kind of just practicing, just coming up here, driving on that target, making sure there's nothing out here. Maybe practicing retreating, you know, advancing and retreating, moving back into a better spot. Just kind of holding on that spot, seeing where I can hold. Right now, when I hold right here, I am at the very top of the first step, or the last step if you're coming up. So I'm holding right on the edge of that top step, which is allowing me to be able to see if a knee breaks that cover line, or an elbow, a shoulder, whatever, and that's going to be my first indicator that they're coming. So things to think about. It's not paranoia, it's preparedness. And just also keeps it interesting, keeps my dry fire interesting. So I'm not just sitting here just, you know, up. You know, I'm not just practicing those drills, but I'm actually working through some problem solving, which for me is just as important as the ability to come up quickly and make an accurate shot. So hope you guys appreciate this stuff. 30 and 30. It's been fun, man. See you guys on the next one.